The tailoring recipes you can make at level 25 in Phase 1 Season of Discovery.
Head.
The only headpiece you can craft and wear is the Azure Silk Hood. It's the only option available to equip, even though you could craft higher level headpieces for later phases up to skill 225. Compare this to what you'll see engineers wear, or if you're not engineering, you'll want to make sure you level up your fishing and join the weekly fishing tournament in Stranglethorn Vale. To catch this lucky fishing hat, you're going to need to catch a rare fish from the pools during the tournament, and in a Classic Plus world, I'd like to see more base recipes from the trainers, but in this first phase, you'll see a few slots with decent items, and I also think each crafting profession is going to have an epic level schematic involved, making tailoring more useful to your main character's power level.
Cloak.
There's only two options. You can craft a +4 spirit or +3 int cloak. Both of these cloaks require a small lustrous pearl, and these pearls can be found in the thick-shelled clams, which you're going to see a ton of from the trash mobs inside of BFD. And weirdly enough, the pirates just south of Ratchet also have a high percentage of dropping these pearls, and I'll normally see 1 or 2 when I'm questing or passing through this area. Because this first phase is locked at 25, I think people will hit level cap really quickly, and because of that, they're going to spend a lot of time getting Bisc gear for their characters. And one of the best cloaks you'll be able to get for casters is the Engineer's Cloak from the quest Gorenzo Wrenchwhistle. Make sure to grab some caster buddies to do a quest Bisc gear world tour as soon as you hit level 25.
Chest.
The only chest piece worth looking at is the Azure Silk Vest. Its +7 frost damage will be desired by mages. The mats only require bolts of silk cloth, making it really easy to craft. Alternatively, every caster is going to want to run Shadowfang Keep until they get the Robes of Arigal off the last boss. I think it's kind of cool the entire server is going to look the same with these robes on. It'll feel like the phase of Shadowfang Keep for casters. Alternatively, I'd like to see dungeon sets for each of these dungeons in Classic Plus.
Bracers belt.
There's no good options in these slots. The overall power level of the gear is weak in Classic WoW while leveling, and not all slots like bracers and belt receive great options at this low level. The best option you're going to find for bracers is either the 5-int bracers sold off various vendors around the world, or the fingerbone bracers. This item's really unique because it has a 1% chance to drop off Forsaken, Dark Stalkers, and Ashenvale. What makes this item even rarer is that it's a horde camp, and the mobs are friendly to the horde side, so only Alliance are going to be able to farm these bracers. Although this camp is right next to the horde camp's Splinter Tree post, and it's sandwiched in between this den, which I think is going to be a hot spot for PvP this phase, so good luck getting your hands on these. For the belt, casters are going to want to spam SFK until Belt of Arigal drops. Some of these boss items are OP, and none of the tailoring crafts come close to the power level of these dungeon blues.
Hands.
We've got 3 powerful crafts in Phase 1. You can make gloves with plus healing, plus frost damage, and plus shadow damage. The healing and frost glove mats are easy to make, but the shadow damage gloves require shadow protection potions, which means you're going to need an herbalist who can pick grave moss. There's only a few locations in Azeroth you can find grave moss, and I imagine this herb to be pretty scarce in this phase. I don't think it's always going to be available in the auction house, so you may need to farm this yourself. You'll have people farming these in Duskwood at 2 different cemeteries in the zone. You could try out the Kodo Graveyard in Desolace. It's not a bad option, and I don't think it's going to be heavily contested because there's level 35s guarding these spawns. You could find some spawns in the Ooze Catacombs and Northern Wetlands, and the Barrens has 2 spawn locations in the very south that Horde can farm. Just on the edge of Stormguard Keep in Arathi Highlands, you can find 1 location, and in the Alterac Mountains you can find a graveyard littered with level 35 to 40 elite ogres. I could see a druid herbalist making this work and guarding these spawns. And lastly, grave moss spawns can be found in Razorfin Downs and Scarlet Monastery Graveyard. Seeing how difficult this reagent is to get, you could try and farm this herb for gold in Phase 1 as well.
Leggings.
There's 2 options for the pants slot. Tailors can craft plus frost and plus fire pants. The frost pants are learned from the trainer, and they just require basic materials, making it an easy craft. However, the Phoenix pants are a world drop recipe that drops from mobs level 15 to 25, so you should be able to see this recipe on the auction house. To craft these pants, you need an iridescent pearl, which you're going to find out of the thick-shelled clams that drop off the trash in BFD. We should see plenty of these in Phase 1.
Boots.
This is the last slot that tailors can craft, and it happens to be the best slot for this phase. Spider silk boots are the best option, and it requires bolts of silk cloth, medium leather, 2 iridescent pearls, and 4 spider silk. In one of the data mines, there was an image showing an upgraded pair of these boots that will likely come from reagents inside of BFD, so every spellcaster that wants to raid might consider going tailoring just to be able to wear these. That was all the tailoring crafts you can make in Phase 1 Season of Discovery. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, like the video, share it with your friends, and make sure to check the description for more guides, and follow me on my Twitch channel where we'll be playing a lot of Season of Discovery when it comes out.